I woke up this morning to upload and found an update announcement from Niantic, and let me just read you the update notes here. Updated Apple Watch to display eggs obtained from Pokestops, changed distance tracking to better account for GPS drift, minor text fixes. Now before you get out your pitchforks, it's been a month since we got an update, and this is what they announced, but remember, there's usually a lot more hidden under the surface of the update. So once this update actually starts rolling out, once the Silph Road can get their hands on it, they'll tear it apart, they'll let us know what's changed in the game's code that might hint at what's coming next. Just like with the holiday boxes, we found those in the code early, but they didn't announce them until right before that sale went live, so it's possible that there might be things in the game's code that this update brings that they won't announce until they actually start turning it on. I'm not going to speculate too much, but all I'm really saying is don't be too quick to judge. There could be more hidden within this update. Now I have to add this onto today's video, which might lead to a later upload. Sorry if that's the case. I'm going to start today, as you might have expected, by powering up yesterday's best catch. Probably one of my best catches ever, to be honest. There it is. Perfect IVs, best moveset. I have 87 candies right now. I powered it up once before deciding I should do this on camera. But I'm just going to go. I'm going to use all the candies. I don't know if I'm going to get them maxed out for my current level, but we'll see where it ends up. And as I'm doing that, let's just talk about this. Omastar is probably the best counter to Fire-type Pokemon, because in terms of offensive ability, among Pokemon who learn Water Gun Hydro Pump, it's ranked second, and the difference between Omastar and Starmie is less than 1%. But Omastar ranks among the top 10 in terms of highest defense stat, and top 20 in overall tankiness. Plus, with rock and water typing, that's a double resistance to fire, so it's going to take a lot less damage from fire types than Starmie would, or even than Vaporeon would. Now what I want to do is actually test out their real world abilities. I'm going to battle something with Omastar, and also with my Vaporeon, if I can get them to the same level, and just see how they actually compare to each other. 2340 is where that's going to stop for now. That's not bad. Today we're exploring Schabarum, this regional park here. Just like Irvine Regional Park, it's a very large park. Lots of Pokestops, and it's reported as a Kabuto nest. You can see there's a couple on sightings right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is send up the drone for a better look. There are walking trails that extend throughout the entire park, and the reports on the Silph Road's Nest Atlas say that Pokemon generally spawn along those trails. All these walking paths, the ones that we're on right now that run through the park, are marked as red walking trails on OpenStreetMap. Now again, like I said yesterday, this probably isn't the cause of the spawns, but more likely correlated, meaning where you see red paths on OpenStreetMap, you may, in many cases, find Pokemon spawning along them. We've seen that at, where did we go? Somewhere in Laguna Hills. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that one.
When this path theory first came out, we went and walked along a trail that we found out previously had no spawns from people who had been there before. So we're definitely seeing new spawns along trails like this. But again, Niantic might not be using OpenStreetMap to find that data, but you know, it's still a good place to start your search. See what I mean? Everything's just right here, right on the trail. This gym is a perfect opportunity to test out my Vaporeon versus my Omastar. So I'm going to place my highest level fire-type Pokemon in the gym, Flareon, and then I'm going to battle it with both of them and see what happens. I want to compare both how long it takes each of them to beat the Flareon and how much HP they have remaining at the end of the battle. Since I've been kind of laggy, I'm actually just not going to dodge at all. Just attack and use Hydro Pump as soon as possible. I don't want to run the risk of, you know, failed dodges and that whole issue. Wow, this is going super quick. So 81 was the timer at the end of that. And I took one hit from Gyarados, so remember that. Alright, so now Omastar. I'm going to do the same thing. It's about the same time. That's to be expected, actually. Since the difference between their attack stats is so small, it's expected that they'll take about the same time. Just from here, it looks like Vaporeon has a higher percentage of its HP left. 152 out of 199 versus 80 out of 114. So Omastar took 34 damage during the battle, and Vaporeon took 47 damage during the battle. Again, Omastar is going to take less damage because it has a double resistance to fire. Vaporeon has about 76% of its HP left. Omastar has 70% of its HP left. So Omastar actually took a greater percentage of its HP in terms of damage, but since Omastar took less points of damage, it's actually a little bit more potion efficient. So it's going to take less potions to heal the Omastar up, although technically they could both be done with a super potion. You could heal the Omastar with 2 regular potions, while you couldn't do that with Vaporeon. But also keep in mind, even though these are the same level, my Vaporeon has lower IVs. It's mid-80s, probably low 80s actually on this one. So with 100% IV Vaporeon, I think the difference would be even smaller. Thank you. So I guess in this case, the conclusion is Vaporeon is still better overall as a counter to fire types. It takes slightly more damage, but it's going to survive longer. It could get through, theoretically, more fire type Pokemon than Omastar could. But in the end, fire type Pokemon really aren't even that common in gyms to begin with. I still like the Omastar better because it's, you know, that 1 in 25,000 chance of finding this one in the wild. Plus you see Vaporeon everywhere anyway. I got a couple eggs hatching. A few, I think. So many that I want to put the camera down so I don't have to hold it this whole time. Nidoran. Staryu. Paris? I'm just saving a lot of stuff now to do mass evolutions because I have so many candies racked up that I just need to get rid of them. Clear out my store and Venonat. Anything else? Any more disappointment hatching? 8.2 on the 10K though. That'll hatch before we're done. But check it out. We're here in the butterfly garden. And while not technically a butterfly, we did find one of its cousins. More spawns right along the trail in this cherry blossom garden. Also, very slow service. No service. You have service?
Me?
So, never mind. I sort of have service now. Just here on the edge of the gym. Can I get in? It's not looking good. There we go. Alright, so there's a Ditto, 213 CP at the bottom of this gym. And I said I was going to show you guys how this works. So let's try to do it right now. Hopefully my service is good enough to get through this. This works better with a higher level Ditto, but I'm going to go look at my Dittos and see what I have around 213 CP. 240 is my closest, 1600 Stardust, so what would that make it? 1600 Stardust puts that Ditto somewhere between level 13 and 14. So what I want to do is choose a Pokemon that's somewhere around half that. So let's look at maybe level 7. Do I have anything that costs 800 Stardust? Let's try it with my Golem. I've had this Golem for a long time. I've never used it for anything other than a little keepsake from when we went to Joshua Tree. 600 Stardust, 377 CP. Also, there's a lot of Pokemon around, but I'm going to have a lot of trouble trying to catch them. This is like the worst gym to try this with because it's going to take forever. Unable to connect to server. Alright, you know what? We're just going to go do this at a gym where I actually have service. I know it's super dark, but just a quick check-in because here's more evidence that Pokemon are just spawning along the paths. Occasionally we'll see them, like there was one that popped up near the Pokestop, but for the most part, they're on the paths. One more dark check-in here. Look at these spawns. Along the path and around the Pokestops. You know, we know when Niantic started rolling out the Pokestop tracker that they added a lot of spawn points near Pokestops. We also know that they added spawns along paths that we can find on OpenStreetMap and occasionally on Google Maps also. So this is really not surprising right now.
Yeah, you look at that water. How did people get out?
This doesn't look good. We made it out of the park. There was another exit. So we're here at Firelight Park now because I want to show you guys how to effectively train with Ditto. So real quickly, I'm just going to take this gym down. Shouldn't be too difficult at all. See that? That dodge glitch. I know a lot of you guys ask about it. I do experience it too. It typically happens when you have a slower connection because it's caused by a delay in communication between the client on your phone and the server at Niantic HQ or wherever they have their servers set up. Essentially what happens is you dodge and the game client knows that. That's why you get the message that says dodged, but the server doesn't know that. So you take full damage, and then once the phone actually communicates with the server and sends the message back that you did successfully dodge, you get refunded that HP. Now, if the hit that you take causes you to faint, that's when you get the glitch where your Pokemon comes back invisible and you can't really attack and it's really annoying. And yeah, Niantic definitely needs to fix that. Hopefully we get an update this week. It's been 4 weeks now since the last update started rolling out. Before that, they were doing updates in 2-week intervals. It seems like they probably just took a break for the holidays, for Christmas, for New Year's, and they should. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be back on schedule at this point. We still haven't heard anything yet, but the week isn't over. Where are my Dittos? I put my strongest Ditto in the gym for the example. But hopefully, whatever update does come out soon also fixes this gym glitch. In the meantime, Pokemon who deal a lot of damage, 1-bar charge moves, are the best defenders because people are going to get hit with this glitch pretty often. and obviously the more damage your defending Pokemon is dealing, the more likely they are to get hit with that glitch, and typically leads to an unfair battle. So here's what you want to do to train against Ditto and get maximum prestige. Take a low-level Pokemon that you have. Hope no one's taking down this gym right now. So what you want to do is take a low-level Pokemon that you have. In this example, I'm using Charizard. When I send that Charizard out, Ditto's going to transform, but it's going to be a high-level Charizard that it transforms into. But since Ditto keeps its own HP when it transforms, it's going to be a high-level Charizard with high CP, but very low HP. So, oh no, someone took my gym down. 449, okay. Cassie's going to put something in the gym with my Ditto, so it lasts a little bit longer. Here's my team. So what's going to happen is Ditto's going to transform into Charizard. It's going to have high CP, and prestige calculation is based on Ditto's CP after transforming. So as it transforms, I'll just switch to a water type, and we'll start taking it down pretty quickly. And see, now that I actually know that it's going to be an 1800 CP Charizard, I can choose things that are a little bit stronger, closer to 900. Is this Flash Cannon? Ice Beam. Yeah, this is not a good counter, to be honest. It's my Bite Ice Beam Blastoise. So, bad choice by me on that one. Luckily, I brought a Vaporeon that actually knows Water-type moves. And there you go, 1000 easy prestige with Ditto. So to sum it up, high-level Ditto in the gym, use a low-level Pokemon against it, it's going to transform into that Pokemon, but it'll be a high-level version of it with low HP. So easy to take down, easy prestige. Just to close this episode out, that Omastar versus Vaporeon comparison that I did earlier is something I want to start doing more often, but with different types of moves. So one thing I want to compare is Arcanine with Fire Fang and Fire Blast versus a Pokemon that knows Ember and Fire Blast, and see how that works out in certain matchups when you incorporate dodging. Because we know, based on just DPS, Arcanine is going to be stronger, it's going to deal more damage, but the DPS of moves changes when you factor in dodging. If you're battling a Pokemon that requires you to dodge quick attacks and charge attacks, which one's going to be more efficient? That's something I want to find out, but it's going to require me to get an Arcanine with Fire Fang and Fire Blast, which I still have not been able to do. I got Bite Fire Blast right here. So, there's another one. Bite Fire Blast. Oh, my game just froze. So I guess that's the end of that. So I have a ton of evolutions saved up to do just for experience, but hopefully I'll get some usable move sets out of that I can use to do these comparisons sometime this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you learned a little bit from it. I'll see you tomorrow.